about 5 years ago, but I haven't had any problems in my back since then. So now my claim was denied, and I lost my job. So I was wondering what I should do about it.
Okay. Yes, sir. I mean, that's something that happens all too often in workers' comp. I'm going to hang up on you if you'll just listen, and if you have any questions, give us a call at work tomorrow. The phone number is 432-HELP or 432-4357. Thank you for calling. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Scott, that's something that we deal with in workers' compensation on a daily basis. There are certain doctors that workers' compensation insurance carriers use very often, and a lot of times they don't necessarily give the injured worker the benefit of the doubt. You can have a situation in whether it's workers' compensation or a motor vehicle accident claim where you've had a pre-existing condition, and if you're not having problems with that condition at the time of the accident, and you suffer a new injury to the exact same part of your body, that should be a new claim, and that should be covered under this workers' compensation insurance carrier's policy. You know, a lot of times you'll get the opinion that is better suited for the insurance company than is suited for you, and that's something we can help you with. Give us a call. Again, the number is 432-HELP or 432-4357. And come in, sit down. We can go through your medical history. We can review your old medical records and possibly sit down with the doctor and make sure that he understands that you weren't having problems at the time of this accident, and allow him to get a fresher perspective over this claim. Maybe he's just been listening to what the insurance company's been telling him, or the nurse case manager has been going in and manipulating what the doctor sees or understands about the claim. And that happens a lot in workers' comp, where these insurance companies will go in and hire a nurse, and that nurse will go in and dominate the conversation with you or your doctor. Come in and sit down with us. We can get you back on the right path. If that doctor's not going to, you know, be objective with you, if he's just listening to one side of the story, it might be that we send you to a different doctor.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. You know, come in and see us and let us get you an opinion from another doctor. It could be that the doctor that you went to through the workers' compensation carrier is a doctor that they send people to repeatedly. So if that happens, sometimes that doctor tends to lean towards giving opinions that are helpful to the insurance company. As much as people believe in their doctor, sometimes these types of things get in the way of the proper opinion. So come see us. Let us get you into a doctor to get another opinion to see if perhaps that first doctor got it wrong. And to follow up a little bit on what Donovan was talking about, the insurance carriers often employ these nurse case managers who go to the doctor and talk to them after you've already seen them. Sometimes they go to the appointment with you, and then after the appointment you leave and the nurse case manager stays behind to talk to the doctor. It's been my experience that these nurse case managers are typically trying to get the doctor to either end your care more quickly than perhaps the doctor would have thought otherwise, and to get your work restrictions where you can get back on the job maybe quicker than you and the doctor felt like without the nurse case manager's input. So be wary of these nurse case managers if that's going on. Now, some of them are there and are trying to do what's best for you and help facilitate appointments and make everything go easier. But you do need to be aware that they can be working more for the insurance company and not in your interests.
Well, and that's one of those situations in comp, unfortunately. Like you said, there are some very, very good nurse case managers. But there are many of them that don't have your best interest at heart. And you know, it's one of those things where you hope that your doctor's a lot more qualified to give medical opinions than a nurse case manager.
For sure.
And you know, don't let a nurse case manager come into your appointment and dominate the conversation. You know, let the doctor know what's wrong with you. Don't let that opinion be provided by someone else, and seek the medical treatment that you deserve.
Now, the other issue, you mentioned that you lost your job. We'll need some more information on that, and I would encourage you to give us a call tomorrow morning at 432-HELP, also 432-4357, and let us talk to you further about that. If the reason that the employer fired you was because you tried to bring forth the workers' compensation claim, we can help you with that too. There's wrongful termination statute that we can apply to perhaps help you out there. You know, it could be that the workers' compensation carrier called your boss and told him that you were trying to bring a claim that really was related to this accident that you had 5 years ago, and that's where we can get involved, and we can look at your medical records from 5 years ago, and we can probably help you out there because, as the caller mentioned, he hadn't had any problems over the last couple of years, and you know, all of a sudden he gets hurt on the job, and they're trying to relate it all back. So anytime those types of things are happening to you, it's a good time to give us a call.
Well, one other issue on that is, and I tell people this all the time, whether it's a workers' compensation claim or a car accident claim, the goal has to be to get you the medical treatment that you need to get better. And we can help point you in the right direction to see the doctors that you need to see to get you better. You know, if you're injured, you know your body better than anyone else. You know your body better than the doctor. And don't be satisfied if a doctor or nurse case manager comes in and tells you that you're better and that you're at max medical improvement, which is a term that you'll hear tossed about in injury claims, and give you a 0% impairment rating and tell you to go back to work full duty. If you don't feel like you're better, that's not acceptable. And at our firm, we can sit down with you, go through your prior medical records, go through your treatment that you've received now, and get you in to see a doctor that will listen to you and try to help get you better. It shouldn't be any different treatment if you've been injured by way of accident than if you just go in and you hurt yourself and you go under your health insurance.
Right, and also these adjusters will throw these terms around. Donovan mentioned one, maximum medical improvement, and they'll use the abbreviations, MMI. They'll talk about impairment ratings and things, and they don't ever want to explain anything to you, and they use these terms to intimidate you. Don't be intimidated by it. That's what we're here for. Give us a call, 432-HELP, and we'll be happy to help explain what all these different terminologies mean and help you get to the doctor that can give you the care that you need and that you deserve and that you're entitled to under the workers' compensation statute. We've got somebody else here calling in, so let's... Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I've just got a question. Calling for my brother. Is not interested in getting involved in any legal mess, but I'm concerned about him. He got into a car accident about a week ago, driving to a job site over in Fort Walton Beach. Was driving a company truck. He got into a pretty bad accident, got banged up, and was in the hospital for a few days and just got out. He doesn't have a doctor to see, but I know he's hurting and just says he doesn't want to get involved in all that mess, and so I'm not sure if you can give him some help.
Okay, sure. We'll take the call off the air. Thank you for calling. The fellow's brother has a couple of cases there, and since he was driving a motor vehicle on the way to the job site, it's important to first recognize that you have two separate claims. You've got a motor vehicle accident claim and you've got a workers' compensation claim. And as Donovan and I have talked about on past shows, the good news there is that we handle both types of law. Some firms just do motor vehicle accidents, for example, but we handle both. We handle the motor vehicle accident and the workers' compensation claim. And we can help guide you through that and use the two claims in a manner that makes you get the best care and the best result for your case. That being said, though, the workers' compensation carrier will be primary. They will be the ones that would send your brother to a medical doctor. So it's important that he goes through the same steps we've talked about in the past. He needs to report it to his employer. Usually with a car wreck, they're going to know already. But if not, make sure you tell them immediately that you're hurt on the job. Make sure you ask to go see a doctor and get checked out. Oftentimes in a car wreck, most of the clients that I see at the time of the accident, they didn't feel like they were hurt that badly, and then 2 days later they really feel horrible, they feel sore, they feel like, hey, I need to get in to see a doctor. And so make sure you report it, make sure you get to the doctor, and from there give us a call at 432-HELP and we can help you from there. We need to go to a break now, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Have you or a loved one been injured at work and don't know your legal rights? At Whibbs, Stone, we are still fighting to protect the legal rights of injured workers.
Insurance companies want you to see only their doctors and accept a settlement that might only be pennies on the dollar of what your case is worth.
Call Whibbs, Stone for a free consultation. We're available when you need us the most, 24/7.
Imagine that. Whibbs, Stone. Imagine what we can do.
Welcome back to the Law Show with Whibbs and Stone. Again, we're a full-service law firm. We represent injured victims from Pensacola to Tallahassee. We're here to help you. Right before we went to break, I'm here again tonight with my partner Scott Stone. We were discussing a claim that an injured person had. He was on his way to a job site and was involved in a car accident claim. And what I wanted to stress on that, again, is that that can be overwhelming. If you're dealing with injuries, you're dealing with being out of work, you have a wrecked vehicle, you have a loved one that's in the hospital, and then all of a sudden you have insurance companies calling you and adjusters calling you. And in that case, you're probably going to have an insurance adjuster from the workers' compensation claim, possibly an insurance adjuster from the vehicle that you were driving, your own personal insurance, the insurance from the vehicle that hit you. So you end up having 4 or 5 insurance companies trying to get information from you, and you're hurt. You're at home, you're either in the hospital or at home, and you have these injuries, you're out of work, and you're in pain, and you're concerned about your future, or you're concerned about your loved one. And what I would tell you and stress to you is that's what we're there for. We're there to try to help you get through a bad situation. We're there to help you and your family figure out, up from down, basically, what statements you should be giving, what you should be saying, whether people are telling you the truth or not telling you the truth. Don't go in alone. Give us a call. Our phone number is 432-HELP, 432-4357, or toll-free 888-231-5326. We can come out and meet with you. We can come to your hospital room. We can come to your house, or we can bring you into the office and get you on the right path and start focusing on letting us deal with the headache of dealing with an insurance company, and you and your loved one can deal with focusing on getting better. And that's the goal.
Right, and as Donovan mentioned, multiple insurance carriers are going to call you. Some of these insurance companies you have a responsibility and a duty to communicate with and to provide them with information, and some of the other ones you don't. And so you need to make sure you know which ones you need to be telling what to, which ones you need to be talking to, and which ones you don't need to be talking to at that point in time. So that'd be a good time to give us a call. We've got somebody who has given us a call here. Let's see if we can help them. Hey, welcome. You're on the air.
Hi, I have a question about my car insurance.
All right.
My son was in a car accident about a month ago, and he rear-ended another vehicle. And I've been speaking with my insurance about it, and they are not wanting to cover the accident.
Okay, great. I'll answer that for you off the air, okay? Thank you for calling. It sounds like the most likely thing that's happened here is in Florida, a lot of people will give me a call and say, hey, I'm fully covered. And unfortunately, it's a little bit confusing because currently Florida only requires that you carry 2 types of insurance coverage for your automobile, and that is personal injury protection and property damage. When you rear-end somebody else, and let's assume that you're cited for the accident and you're at fault, the driver that you've run into is going to come look to you to get money for the injuries that they sustained. But the type of insurance coverage that you would need to help you in that situation is called bodily injury. And on your policy, oftentimes that's abbreviated BI. And if you're fully covered, you may just have the PIP and the property damage, and so you don't have any bodily injury coverage. And that would be a reason that the insurance company would tell you they're not going to help you out. So it's real important to have a long and frank discussion with your insurance agent. Some people go in and say, hey, I want to be fully covered, give me what I need, and out the door. You need to take time and talk with them and understand exactly what it is that you're purchasing. There's other things available, collision, comprehensive, a lot of other things. Uninsured motorist coverage is very important. So you need to make sure that you have the types of coverage that you want to have and that you need. But again, you're only required to have the personal injury protection and the property damage. But I would strongly recommend that you have the BI and the UM too, which is uninsured, also known as underinsured. And in that situation, if somebody runs into you and they don't have any BI insurance, like the person that called in, then you can go to your own insurance company and they'll cover it.